Today, a quick and easy cheap pizza the whole family will love. So, let's do it. First, you want to pop a high-walled frying pan onto the hob, turn the heat to medium, and add a tiny little splash of olive oil. And the first ingredient is some pancetta. Chuck your pancetta into the pan and add a touch of seasoning. Toss the pancetta in the pan, and we want to get this really nice and crispy. While the pancetta is ticking away, the next ingredient we want some venison sausage. And the first thing you want to do is remove the skin. So cut down the side of the sausage, remove the meat, and once the pancetta starts to get slightly crispy, you want to chuck in the venison sausage. And as soon as that sausage is in, you want to start breaking it up with a spoon. So after a few minutes, the sausage will start to get some colour, and a little trick, you want to get in there with a masher. This will help to break up the sausage and make it almost like a sausage mince. So break it up, and while the sausage and pancetta is frying off, you want to take a bulb of garlic, and we're going to need a few cloves, remove the skins, and then get that garlic diced up really nice and fine. So chop your way through it, stick the garlic into a bowl, and add as much as you want to the pancetta and the venison sausage. Give it a good tossing up in the pan, give it a stir through, and you want to fry off the garlic with the meat until it starts to get ever so slightly brown. And at this point, we're going to want some tomato paste. So add a good tablespoon or so of your tomato paste, and you want to be sure to roast off the tomato paste for a couple of minutes before anything else goes in. And do me a favour and quickly hit that subscribe button below. And next, we want some red wine. So take a nice glass of red wine, pour that into the pan, and you want to reduce it down till it's nice and syrupy, so all the alcohol is burned off and we've got a nice rich sauce. While the wine is reducing down, we're going to prepare some cherry tomatoes. So really simple, you just want to chop the cherry tomatoes in half. Stick the halved tomatoes in a bowl, and be sure to keep the stalks, because we're going to chuck those into the sauce to give it a beautiful tomatoey perfume. And so chuck your halved cherry tomatoes into the pan, throw in those stalks, and then we want some oregano. So sprinkle in some oregano, a good pinch will do ya, and then we want to season. So add a good pinch of sea salt, a few twists of freshly ground black pepper, and we're going to want to cook this out for about 10 minutes or so. And while the sauce is cooking, we can make our pizza dough. So you want to take a large mixing bowl, and we want some self-raising flour. And the ratio we need is 500 grams of self-raising flour and half a pint of water. So do the maths and make any adjustments you need. This will make us about 4 or 5 pizzas. So get in there with your hands, mix everything together until it starts to come together as a dough. And at this point you want to season, so add a nice pinch of salt and then keep mixing away. Now this is obviously not your traditional pizza dough, but this is great for a quick family meal. Once you've made the dough, you can pretty much use it immediately. So once it starts to come together, you want to lose the bowl and pop that onto a chopping board, and you want to knead the dough for about 5 to 10 minutes or so. And then once we have our pizza dough, you just want to wrap that up in some cling film ready to go. And very quickly give the video a thumbs up by hitting the like button below. At this point our sauce should be about ready, so you want to pick out those stalks, give it a quick taste for seasoning, and then pour your sauce out into a bowl and just allow that to cool down a touch before we use it. Pop on your oven and preheat to 180 degrees. Next we're going to roll out our pizza base, so you want to liberally flour your board and add a nice handful of your pizza dough, and simply take a rolling pin and start rolling that out. And we're going to start cooking this pizza in a non-stick frying pan, so make sure you roll out the dough about the same size as your pan. So roll it out really nice and thin, and once you've got your dough ready, chuck that into a non-stick frying pan, and then just spend a minute to push the dough out into all the corners so it completely covers the base of the pan. And then you want to stick your dough onto a hob, turn the heat down fairly low, and then we're going to build our pizza. So start by adding a few tablespoons of your sauce, spread that out onto the base. Next we want some mozzarella cheese, so tear your mozzarella over the sauce, and once your mozzarella is on there, we're going to want some jalapenos. So add a few jalapenos, as many as you can handle. Next we want some olives, so scatter over your olives. And then one of my favourite ingredients for pizza, we want some anchovies. Lay over a few of your anchovy fillets, and then we want some classic spicy pepperoni. So chuck on your pepperoni, and we just want to cook this on the hob for a few minutes until the base of the pizza starts to get a little bit crispy. And once the pizza is starting to get lightly brown, you want to transfer this into the oven. So lay the pizza onto a cooking rack, and then we want to bake this off in the oven for about 7 to 10 minutes. And once the pizza is almost ready, one last ingredient, some Parmesan cheese. So grate over a nice amount of your Parmesan and then pop this back in the oven for another 2 minutes or so. And then we're ready to go. So get out your pizza, and we just want to take some basil and finely dice your basil. So stick your pizza onto a chopping board and then scatter over some of your fresh basil. And there we have a really quick and simple pizza. All that's left to do is to get stuck in. So give it a try, and I'll see you next time.